'Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back, glad to see you looking fresh. So, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a great new anime that dropped on Netflix a little bit ago, and it is one heck of a show. Just simply put, incredibly animated, characters are great, music's great, the story's great. It's a tight 10-episode show that, if you can't tell by the title and my excitement already, you should absolutely go see it. And I'm not going to get any spoilers in this video or anything like that, but my god, does this show do so many things right. And I just want to kind of discuss everything and the overarching ideas and what this show represents. And let's just start with what this show is. It's a cyberpunk show, so we have those elements. It's a future world, but everything's grungy and dirty, and it's a not apocalyptic world, but it's almost there, and there's huge corporations, and there's crime everywhere, and there's great technological advancements. Like, we have characters that implement themselves, and they call them getting crumbed up or whatever. That might just be a slang term for whatever they're doing here. So they augment themselves with different abilities, and some characters can go super fast, some characters can get super strong. You put weapons in yourself, you do different things, and you can augment yourself to have different abilities. And this, of course, is based on the game, Cyberpunk 2077. Has the same font, same logo and everything, which came out from CD Projekt Red a couple of years back to a not-so-great opening. But the game's been patched, and even though I haven't had a chance to play it yet, I do want to. I do want to play that game, and I am excited more now than ever, much like a lot of people, because the numbers on Cyberpunk are higher concurrent player base now than, like, Witcher 3 has ever had on Steam. I think that's the only place that they record that metric, so that makes sense. But that's really exciting, and I just sitting here and I'm hoping and I'm waiting for that inevitable next gen release, PS5, Xbox Series X physical release, so built for that hardware, on disc, everything, DLC, all of it on one package. Then I'll happily play this game. But this is set a year before that, so it's 2076, and things from the game, I guess, are in the show, and there's a lot of little Easter eggs, but I didn't pick up on that, and I still love the show. So it's not a thing that you have to have experienced to understand the show fully. There's a whole cast of characters here to fall in love with, like our main character. He starts out as just a schoolboy who his mom is a nurse and might have a little bit of another history to try to pay his way through school. He's very smart, and he ends up finding an augmentation, and through circumstances ends up equipping it and joins up with our group of cyberpunks or edgerunners. And what a fantastic group of people here. Some standouts: Lucy, obviously, she's amazing. She's like not the main character, I just said the main character. So our secondary main character, probably. We also have someone like Maine, who's just a beast of a dude. He's huge. Reminds me a lot of Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, especially with that robotic hand. You know, his hand is still a hand, and Barrett's is a gun. But I'm pretty sure his hand can be a gun if he certainly wanted it to be. And just everyone else, Rebecca, she's a huge fan favorite, and it's obvious to see why. She's a small little Spitfire who's fantastic in every scene she's in. It's all great. Every character feels so realized, and they all feel like they have a huge story of their own to tell, that if we weren't so focused on this story, they could all have their own shows. Like, they could all have a 10-episode series. And that's the thing, there's only 10 episodes. That's crazy to me that this is so packed together in a concise 10-episode series, because a lot of anime that come out, 12, 13 episodes, so it's not as short as one would think in comparison, but 2 to 3 episodes less. You really have to tighten everything up, and every episode does feel super tight together. There's not a minute of downtime. I mean, there is in the sense of, like, not everything is blowing up 24/7, but every episode feels important, every moment feels important, even if it's just two characters sitting and talking about, you know, what they want out of life, and where they think their life is going, and something small like that. What does it mean to fall in love? And then, of course, just because it's made by Studio Trigger, as you see Promare behind me, this movie is great. If you haven't seen anything from Studio Trigger, this is a great place to start, because it's just a movie, and you sit down and watch it, and you're good to go. Also, if you've seen the Star Wars Visions anime, their episode of the twins, you kind of get their senses. Everything is super bright, flashy, and colorful, and the action is huge and bombastic and very in your face. And this show is no different. In fact, it's a little bit more subdued, which is kind of crazy compared to other shows. This show is very much not subdued, but this show's action is so well done that every punch, every gunshot, it has weight to it. And even though, like, people will get shot and there'll be a huge explosion of blood out and it's very cartoony and in your face about it, you feel something. Which is amazing. Oh, this show is so good. It is no mystery as to why the player base has all of a sudden shot way up. And so many people are going back and trying this game again because it has been updated. And I have, like I said, been meaning to get to it. I just want there to be that version. Like, a native version. That's what I'm waiting for, and I absolutely will get it when that happens. But this show proves something big, in that shows set in known properties absolutely can work. And this is set a new standard for video game adaptations. Now, it's obviously isn't a direct adaptation, and because it's just a world setting, and it's a game based on an old tabletop game, there's a lot of things to work with, so it's a little bit of a stretch, but still, the feeling, the world is the same as the game is, so this show proves that video game adaptations can be amazing. Simply put, can be amazing. And going into this, I was a little hesitant because I'm like, oh, okay, it's just going to be another, this is a game before, and even in the anime sphere, adaptations of games aren't the best, so I kind of tempered my expectations, but they were absolutely blown out of the water. I feel like we're going to see more. I hope we see more. This show ends in a very nice way, and it does not need to continue. To ever see these characters again, I don't know. Like a DLC in the game, maybe it'd be nice to see some of them again. But, like, we don't need to see all of them again, and we don't need to see any more continuation from anything. Like I said, this is a very nice 10-episode run that doesn't need to be touched, and is pretty perfect in what it's trying to accomplish, If you want. Witcher 3, as a lot of you know, is my favorite game of all time. Another CD Projekt Red run thing, so if Studio Trigger wanted to touch that, I would be more than down. I don't know if they would. That doesn't seem more up their speed. They definitely feel more home with the sci-fi stuff, but I feel like a little bit of fantasy magic, explosive violence could work. That could work. That would be awesome. That would be the best. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I've seen the show a couple days ago, and it's still just been ringing around in my head. And it honestly brought me back into the fold of watching more anime again. I kind of fell off a little bit. I slowed up a lot this year, but I'm back in it now. This show really invigorated me, and that's a great thing. In fact, so much so that I have been tossing around the idea, and this show might show up in a video later on talking about my favorite anime of the year. Last year I didn't do it because I didn't think I watched enough and didn't think I had enough of a voice to speak on such things, but I feel like I'm getting better, and I feel like I'm getting more apt to talk about anime in a way that I'm more comfortable talking about games and movies, so maybe don't hold me to that. That might happen, that might not happen, but if it does, be sure to look forward to my Cyberpunk thoughts in a couple months when looking back on the year. So, have you seen Cyberpunk Edgerunners? And if not, why not? Do it. If you don't have Netflix, get Netflix for like a free trial. Do they do free trials? I don't know. If they do free trials, absolutely. And then watch this, and then, I don't know, Stranger Things, I guess, whatever else you want to watch. But absolutely check this out. And that'll about do it for this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and as always, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.